Hey you guys, and thanks for tuning into today's video. So, where do we begin? Uh, Today's segment is all about Ayesha Curry and how she broke and is currently breaking the internet since this past Monday. So pretty much if you are a living, breathing human being, you have either watched or heard about the Ayesha Curry interview. It was hosted by Jada Pinkett-Smith during her Red Table Talk segment that she hosts on Facebook, I believe, weekly. And this past week was about the women of the Curry family. For those of you who do not know, the Curry family is most well known for the husband, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, but Steph Curry's father and Steph Curry. They are two very accomplished athletes, mega moguls. And so this particular interview was to focus on the women behind the empire. So basically, while most people, including myself, thought that this interview was solely for Ayesha Curry, she just wound up stealing the thunder. I'm not sure she meant to do that intentionally. That's just what actually wound up happening. So again, for those of you who didn't see and for those of you who did see, I want to just play this quick clip of the actual segment from the interview.
Bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that there are all these women throwing themselves, but me the past 10 years I don't have any of that. I have zero, it sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not looking.
You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. And I was young, like you.
Yeah,
that's
oh my
not
God.
fair. I mean,
because I don't want it, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to know that someone's looking.
But
That
when
can
your
get
radar's
dangerous.
turned off, right?
That
You're
can get
beautiful.
real
Don't ever
dangerous.
think for 1 minute that it ain't some men out there looking at you like I wish.
Honestly.
And I'm gonna tell you who knows that more than anybody.
Your husband.
And on
So, that's also just a really good refresher for those of you who have seen it and just need to be reminded of exactly what our girl Ayesha said. Where do we start? This is a multi-topic video, if that makes any sense. I'm going to try to relay it in the most cohesive and comprehensive way as it comes from my mind to my mouth. So bear with me, but I'm going to start off with point one. Point one for me was when she started it off by saying, I know this is going to sound weird. It sounds weird because it kind of is. And I think people only say that when they're speaking as a safety net because they themselves know that one of two things, either what they're about to say is highly controversial or what they're about to say is not going to be received well by some people, but just enough people so that you can either say, hey, I told you it was weird, or, oh, great, you agree? Not that weird. Even deep down, she knows that it's not a good way to feel. And that's why she said that too, in my opinion. The next part when she continues talking is to say that, an insecurity that I have is that Steph, her husband, receives all of this female attention. And in the last 10 years or so, she hasn't received any, or I guess very little, to the point where it's caused her to feel a certain way about it, right? Okay. So when you take that at face value, some people I've seen, men and women, just kind of shrug it off and say, bro, it's not that serious. Sis, it's not that serious. I kind of do take it a little more seriously than some people did. I'm also not at the far end of the extreme where I've seen some people saying that she's crazy, Steph should leave her. She's a you-know-what, just different things. I'm not here to judge her. She's gonna live her life whether I judge her or not. I'm not here to judge her. I'm just here to kind of maybe help someone like her, or actually Ayesha if this reaches her. Anyway, so my next point would basically just be that she said that she is jealous of those things and she's not looking for it, but it would just be nice to know that there's males out there looking for her, because she specifically, if not twice, once mentioned that it's male attention that she's seeking. She never said she's looking for validation for her being a businesswoman, for her having, for being an author, for being a great mom, for being a great wife. She's looking for male validation, as in compliments, as in, I don't know, maybe male genitalia flooding her DM. I have hung out with way too many guys my whole life. I've never been like a girl who has a bunch of girlfriends. Like, I've always been closer with the guys. Sorry. But that doesn't sway my opinion one way or the other for this. Just trying to give my opinion best way I can. Is that when a guy sees a girl who's easy, or a girl who's put out an invitation, or just a girl that they don't care about, they just want to sleep with, that's the tactic that they use. Just sending you their penis, because it's not that serious and it's not that special. Anyway, so when she was saying she was looking for that validation, I automatically got really upset, because I was like, how do you come from a marriage that seems full of love, respect, honor, admiration, and loyalty, having 3 great kids, having all that money, having amazing homes, excuse me, this is upsetting me, having book deals, TV shows, you've been a cover girl, all the possibilities are in your fingertips, and this is what you focus on. I'm not saying her whole life's focus is on this, but to bring it up, what she clearly felt the need to do, because she wasn't prompted, no one directed her in this way. She just blurted it out before moving on to the next topic. So it obviously affects her enough, bothers her enough, right? And again, this is not to jump on her. It's Ayesha Curry's truth. She's allowed to say it, and I'm glad she did. It opened room for a really great conversation. One of the other things that really bothered me about this interview is that single-handedly in that 58-second clip, and again, she didn't speak further after it or before it. I'm giving her all of her 58 seconds where she addressed this topic specifically. She single-handedly, in this interview, validated the notion that a ton of guys have, that women are crazy, they don't know what they want, they're never satisfied, you can't please them, because if you give them this, they still want that. She has totally given credence to that. And I don't think she even necessarily realizes it, but that's what she did for a lot of people. Because how do you have a seemingly amazing husband who optics-wise looks great, but also she's verified herself in this interview and others that he's a great husband, your kids are great, you have a great business that you on your own right should feel validated just from that as a businesswoman, and a great family and support circle. So it's like, why do you want or have any desire for randoms to contact you in your DMs or hit you up to show you that you're still desirable? It's a little confusing. Because I'll tell you, which leads me to my next point, is that I have heard I've seen both personally and in too many stories where it all starts in the DM. There are like literally 18 million songs starting and based around hopping in the DMs. And what starts there doesn't always end there. And so she might start getting the DMs now because she's totally opened that floodgate, but now she's going to get it, now what? And not to say that she's going to cheat, but someone else in her position just might, because, oh, now I'm getting the attention, the messages aren't enough, now I want to act on it. It's just a dangerous pattern to me. And again, that's not to say that that's where Ayesha is headed or that's what she is or wants to do. Another issue that I took with this was that how would we feel if roles were reversed? Right? How would we feel if Steph Curry said that, or if another man said that? Yeah, my wife gets attention, blah, blah, but I have to admit, I really want female attention. Shut down, the internet is down, social media is down, people are beating their husbands because they're automatically assuming that all men think that way because they're all the same. So I just don't get it. Right? Like, we would be so upset if Steph or another guy said, I'm looking for female attention, right? So I just think we need to be fair. It's not a cool thing for a man or a woman to say. You're in a relationship, you're married. If and some people have said, oh, well, maybe she's lost her identity of self through, being a mother and body changes and being a wife for so long and just wanting to know she's desirable by other men. Why? What's it going to do for her? If she truly plans to not act on it like she says, and I believe her, I have no reason not to, then why does she need that attention? For what? You know, if for some reason after children, which I understand bodies go through changes, I'm not a mom personally, but I know the body goes through changes physically and hormonally. But then to me, it's like if you're not feeling desirable anymore on your own right or by your spouse, whatever the case may be, look at yourself physically, spiritually, mentally. And if all of those things are in check and you like it, then there should be no issue. If your spouse likes it, there should be no issue. If you could look around and see the life that you've built for yourself like she has in her own right, she's accomplished. She's an accomplished woman. She should feel validated just off of that. So I would say to an Ayesha Curry or a woman like her or a man like her, feel validated on your own right. Feel validated because you're handling your business. You're taking care of your kids. You've got a beautiful life. You might have things that you want to improve upon, but at the end of the day, your life is great. That's all the validation you should need. Is your own validation, the validation of your creator, and sure, from your spouse. Absolutely, that's a beautiful thing to be desired by your spouse. One other key point that I will say is that, you really, even if you're feeling like, we all have our moments, right? You don't feel your prettiest or your most handsome. That's okay. That happens sometimes. We're not perfect. But you need to be able to pick yourself up and not on the validation of likes or DMs or anything else. Because those things will fade and then you'll want more. So truly find that happiness somewhere else and within yourself, right? Kind of just in closing, just to speak from my own personal experience, before being married, I received a lot of compliments, flattery, invitation, proposals from men in my DM. But what I will say is that I'm almost 30. And in all these years being active on social media, I could probably count on one hand how many guys have sent me male genitalia or anything super disrespectful in my inbox. And I will tell you, it's because guys respect me. A man or woman who respects you won't do or say certain things to and with you because they know that you won't take the bullshit. It's that simple. So again, don't take those things as flattery. It's not a good thing. There's one thing to be complimented, and that's fine. But again, even in the compliments, right? As soon as I got married, I noticed my responses from guys in particular drop 40%. And you know what? That's okay. Because I'm validated within myself. My creator has validated me. My husband validates me every day. And then I'm validated looking in my work life. I can validate myself through knowing I do a good job at work. I do the best I can. Eventually, when I'm a mom, I know that I can look at that and validate myself that way. My own business, my blog, my career, my acting. I can look and say, I've accomplished in these ways. That's why I'm validated. That's why I don't need to check my inbox. That's why if my DMs are completely dry, I'm okay. And I know that I'm living a beautiful, good life, just like she is. So I'm kind of asking you guys to look at this from that perspective. And again, not to judge her, take her down. She spoke her truth. I think it's great. And I hope she gets that validation she needs from the right channels, not her DMs. So again, I would just challenge you guys to look at it this way. I open it up to you. I want to hear from you guys. What do you have to say about it? What are your thoughts? What are your comments? Do you agree with me? Or do you hate me and you totally disagree? That's okay too. That's what an open forum is for. So I definitely open it up to you guys. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I think there's many good points and, discussions to have about this. So definitely thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in, check back weekly as I have given the blog a facelift and I have given myself some more motivation to keep going and pursuing this. So please check back every week as I will have new vlogs and blogs coming at you. And I appreciate you and I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Time to get back to work.